What's good, ladies and gentlemen? BWIZE, we in the building all day. Just want to let you know, man, if you got a dream, go get it, hands down. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it, because most people that tell you that they can't do it, most of the time they can't do it. So they try to discourage other people from chasing their dreams, because you know misery loves company. So, but I'm not gonna get too deep today. I promise. It's Friday. For all you football fans out there, it is Sunday. I got my Chiefs gear on, so shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Trying to take over the AFC West. Other than that, though, let's talk about some hip hop culture. So there's been a lot of talk about how hip hop and MCing is evolving. You got the distinguishing two identities between what is an MC and what is rapping. What is rappers, what is a rapper, and what is an MC, and just how the craft is evolving. I saw this interview with Lil Yachty, and I believe he's the same rapper that said Drake is better than Tupac, so on and so forth. So you have all these interpretations and ideas of the new guys coming in saying that, hey, this is what rap is now, you should get over it, and then you got the old heads like DMX who hates Drake, and you got some of these old school cats like Cassidy who feel as though that the actual craft of MCing today, what younger rappers call MCing, as far as like mumbling, not really understanding your words, not using metaphors and wordplay explicitly or vividly, they should be put in another category. That's what Cassidy suggested, the rapper Cassidy. So, of course, for all you hip-hop heads, you should know where hip-hop started from. But if you don't know, I'll give you a little bit of history, a breakdown. August 11, 1973, DJ Kool Herc, South Bronx, actually came up with the genre of that, but hip-hop was the actual culture and had to do with breakdancing, MCing, graffiti, and DJing. Yeah, DJing. And so I had to look at my notes right quick. And DJing. And then back in the day, you had like cats like Grandmaster Flash, you had Kumo D, you had Houdini, you had then you progress a little bit later into KRS-One, Public Enemy. When the political scene came on, Fight the Power with Public Enemy, was understanding that, us as a people, especially us as African Americans, but people who are basically trying to fight the system, should hold together, should be together and be cohesive in trying to fight the system that is against us. And so that's what really hip-hop started off as. It started off as, just a, you hear, hip-hop at a house party just to get you going, just for a little entertainment, and then it became like a political movement, especially for the black community. And then it became a voice for the people. And then, when you started to get to like the early 80s, early 90s, you had guys like Tupac, and then, you had the whole East Coast, West Coast thing. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my man Tupac, is actually one of my favorite artists, man, who I, as an artist, kind of follow and listen to, and really, if you listen to his music now, and I said this at an interview when I was on NX Radio, that Tupac, man, they'll play his stuff at Starbucks. Like I heard, I want to say it was Dear Mama at Starbucks. And so when you got that much influence, that much power as an artist, for you to be considered labeled by the media as a thug and wanting to kill people and stuff like that, but yet 20 years later your music is still relevant to play in a place like Starbucks, then you can see the impact that Tupac had, even though the media tried to smear his name to be identified as one thing, as this outlaw, this hoodlum, when actually Tupac was very, very intelligent and very, very smart. So understanding the evolution of hip hop, I want to know what you think, America. What do you think, especially for you young heads out there that's listening to this new music of this new generation, and you old heads too? I want to know your opinion, because me coming, like, I'm only 28, and so when I started listening, actually really listening to hip hop, I was like in my early 20s, and my first real in-depth view of hip hop came from Lupe Fiasco, which is one of my favorite artists. He's actually my number 2 on B-Wise's hip hop list, top 5. So first one is Eminem, second one is Lupe Fiasco, third one is Andre, fourth one is Nas, and fifth one is Jay-Z and Sick. If I had a 6, Tupac would be my closer. So Lupe Fiasco, I first heard The Cool back, I believe, in 2006. And I think he came out with Kick Push before then, but I wasn't really on Kick Push like that. I wasn't really on hip hop like that. And so when I heard Lupe Fiasco, The Cool, and at that time, I grew up in a very disciplined home to where hip hop music wasn't really allowed. So I heard variations of it on the radio, but the in-depth part of hip hop, and even back then, 2006, 10 years ago, hip hop was still vulgar back then, so I didn't really like it because used certain words like used bitch, it degraded women, it did things, especially for the black community, that I saw that it wasn't beneficial. But when I heard Lupe Fiasco spit, he was talking about socially conscious things, and then that's when I really started to dig and understand what hip hop was and where it came from. And so, but now the evolution of and also too, Eminem. Shout out to Eminem, man, who just has a prolific MC. As far as his wordplay, in my opinion, and as far as his style, of how he MCs, of how he spits, and then like his writing style is dope too. One of my favorite songs is 8 Mile, and just how he tells the story and just how he delivers. His delivery is on point. His delivery is on point. But Lupe was really the guy to kind of influence me to become an artist and to be able to understand that I can talk about socially conscious things and put them in a way that's entertaining so people can listen. Now, it may not be the most popular. If you think about Lupe Fiasco, he's not the most popular guy. He's not the most popular, he's not a top 10 Billboard type guy. But he talks about things and people follow him, people listen to him. So go check him out, man, Lupe Fiasco. I actually had an opportunity to see him live in concert in Lawrence, Kansas this last Saturday, man, and it changed my life completely because I understood. And if you watch my other videos, I talk about living your dream and going after your dream. And after seeing him live, I always said that if I met him, that I knew that I made it. If I actually met him, but I had to see him live. I saw him live, and it changed my life. It just changed my perspective of, as far as going after my dream, to go ahead and just pursue it and go after it. But needless to say, the evolution of hip hop is changing. Who knows what's going to be 5 years from now, 6 years from now, 7 years from now. But the rate it is going and what the mainstream industry is pushing as for non-talented, garbage, trash, no lyricist type artists who really, I don't really consider art. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. Art is subjective to where, who's to say what is good and what is bad. But I mean, when you can't really clearly hear people's words and what they spit, and it's just like a bunch of ad-libs and the beat is tight, to me that's not really art, because anybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? I define art as something that nobody else can do, and you can put your, even though everybody else can do it, you have your trademark on it, and people know it's yours. Like, I could look at a painting from Da Vinci. I could look at a painting from another artist in the Renaissance area, and I can tell the difference between the Mona Lisa and another piece of art, or I can tell the difference between the Last Supper from another piece of art. You know what I'm saying? So just understanding the fact that as an artist, what we call an artist today, especially when you talk about it in the music, it's not art. It's trash. It's something put together that I feel like anybody can do. And now you got this generation of people who feel like, well, I can do the same thing he can do. You know, and especially with this digital media coming out, and people is putting out. It's harder for the more talented artists to get recognized, because people get bombarded with all everybody want the new artists who really don't have a fan base that's trying to build themselves. They don't have a platform. The actual good artists actually have a platform. That actually are in the same boat with them that don't have a platform, is competing against these guys who don't have as much talent as the guys that do have talent, but they too are after the same audience, or they too are after the same people to get, you know, for them to listen to their music, to get people to listen to their music. And it's like, you know, all you want is ears at that time. And so if you got these trash artists who's in this digital age who's continually putting out music on Facebook and SoundCloud, and they just want people to listen, and you got the guy who is actually talented want to do the same thing, people's attention span is short amongst all the other things that's going on in the world with news, sports, media. And so when a trash artist is kind of actually trying to compete on the same platform as a Facebook or a SoundCloud, it doesn't really give the artist, it levels the playing field for both, for the trash artist and the guy who actually has talent. So that's the evolution of rap, of MCing, man. My actual art is a work in progress. And I know some people out there. First of all, I want to give a shout out to all my subscribers, man. 2 weeks ago I only had 26 subscribers. Now I have about 63, 64, and I'm going to continue to build. Thank you so much for what you have done. You know, I have a goal to you know, do this as my full-time job, to be able to give motivational speeches and education. Next week we'll be talking about voting, why I do not vote, and why I don't think you should vote. So leave comments, make sure you subscribe, make sure you check out www.ubewize.com. If you look below, actually in the information section, I have my SoundCloud, my website, my Instagram, all my social media is on there. And also I'm putting the link should be right here. I'm putting a link to my new single out featuring Roshan Eve called Just Smile. My last video I talked about how you should go chase your dream, and sometimes, you know, you don't want to get up, you don't want to get up, and you don't want to get up, and you don't want to chase your dream, but you have to have an entrepreneurial spirit to go ahead and get that, because whatever you're doing now, you're pretty miserable at. You probably don't want to do it. Statistics say that 80% of people don't like the career they're in. So you have the ability to change that. Go check it out. It's the single featuring Roshan Eve. It's BWIZE. Make sure you subscribe, you like this video, and you share it as well if you can. If you guys have anything that I can share to help you out, whatever you're doing, I would do that as well. Make sure you just hit me up. And that's it. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. BWIZE.